Hello friend. So we will start with NetScaler and we will have multiple videos in this series. So we will start with a scratch setup of NetScaler. As we did in previous video, we did a lab for the security and cyber security a little bit, and we talk about in one series for the FS Logics solution. Now we will start setting up lab for the NetScaler, and we will do a lot of configuration about NetScaler here. So how do we start NetScaler? We will first we have to download the VPX. As you can see, I already have VMware Workstation running in my environment where I would be doing all the labs. I already have one NetScaler which is fully configured and working with Citrix environment. But for this series, we will set up a new NetScaler, and then I will show you how you do it. And that's the same you do in the production, but then you do it in the ESX cluster, VMware cluster, or Nutanix cluster, or Zen server cluster. So to start with, to download the uh, NetScaler appliances, we go to the website for Citrix, and then here you have a lot of NetScaler Citrix gateway uh, firmware. You can download based on your requirement. Uh, I'm using 29.72 series because my old NetScaler is on that series, because in this later video we will do high availability configuration and other stuff. But we will also do an upgrade, so you will see how the upgrades happen. So, and if you want to read more about NetScaler, you can go to my blog, which is IT Techie Mind, and you can go to the NetScaler section and you will find a lot of documentation about NetScaler concepts. I would recommend you to go and read more about it. You will find too much useful information there. So let's not waste your time and start with the downloading NetScaler. I have already downloaded the NetScaler appliances in my system, which is available in my drive. So how do we import that OBF file? So when you go to the NetScaler download section, you will see multiple files. You need to download the files which you need according to your hypervisor you are going to import in. So I have done it for VMware, and I'm going to import this appliance file which I have. So my appliance file is in my C drive, but I don't have to show you where in the C drive. So let's start importing. How do we import actually? So we go to the files in the VMware workstation, go to the open, and this is my NetScaler appliance version which I have downloaded it. Now you see it. Sorry. And I'm going to import this in. You don't see a pop-up window. I'm trying to see why it is not coming in the recording, but don't worry. I have selected my OBF file and I'm clicking on open. It's asking me a file name, which is I would define NS02, and I'm importing it right away. So you will see one machine shortly. So here is the machine OBF file which I have downloaded it and imported that appliance in my VMware workstation. And I will just power it on. It will take some time. Importing is just very simple. When you download the OBF file, you go to the file option in your workstation on top here, and then you just click on open, and point that open pointer to the OBF file of the NetScaler, and it will import. It will ask you for the machine name, which it will display in the VM workstation structure, and then click next, text it, and that's it. And then it will show you here. So I'm waiting for the initial process when the OBF file is getting imported in, and now it's asking me for the IP address for the NetScaler. So the IP address I will put according to my lab. Subnet mask, gateway, and now it's asking me, do you want to save it? And I save my configuration here. So now it will save the configuration and reboot my NetScaler afterwards. So now it is on the login prompt. So I will go to my one Windows machine. Yeah, and this is my Windows machine, my domain controller. And before I have to verify that the VLAN settings for this machine is correct. Otherwise, I won't be able to connect to this machine. So I've just looked into the VLAN settings and ensured that it is in the same VLAN where my domain controller is residing. All right, and I have corrected this, and then I will go to my machine in Windows. And I will type the IP address for the NetScaler, which I have already built right away. So here is the first prompt for my NetScaler. Default user ID, username and password is nsroot, nsroot. You log in first time, it will ask you to change the password. And I will change the password according to my requirements. And then I will click on the change password, and then it will change my password and it will log me in inside. So this is the configuration which we did when we build it up. So I don't have to make any changes here. In my environment, I don't have a two VLANs. Like one, I'm passing all the traffic and the application traffic through an SIP. But in some of the further labs, we will use a different sub network for the backend application traffic. So we will need to add those subnet IP here. So NSIP will not be doing all the application, will be handling all the application traffic. It will be handled by the subnet, another subnet which you will define in the NetScaler. But right now we will don't make any changes. We will go to the second option, which is about our host name. So let's click on continue. Okay. We need to go back to the configuration part. Yeah. And then I want to change the host names and everything. I will do it later, this part. So now I'm on the third section, which is about host name. And yeah, my NetScaler name is DNS IP is 192.168.58.190. The time zone, it depends. You will select time zone according to your environment where it is hosted. In my case, it's Europe. So I will have this European time zone. Luxembourg. Here you go. NTP server is the same as my DNS server. And I don't want to have an advisory, but if you have ADM servers and you want to integrate, you can definitely connect your NetScaler appliance to the NetScaler console, which was called as an ADM. Then I will click on done. Yeah, it wants me to the configuration is done. It just want to reboot. Now it's rebooting. It will take approx 1 minute when it's come up. So it just is in fresh setup actually. So I'm not cutting up any time videos, any clips. So it is just as will be same as it is when you will do setup in your lab environment. So you will have the exact same behavior. It will refresh in 4 seconds now. Now it's trying to reconnect. It can take time, but yeah, you can definitely try to refresh. It is still not up. You can have a look on the, yeah, it's still initializing configuration, you can see. So it's still not yet on the login prompt. So definitely I'm not getting the login screen back soon. Starting the daemon service. Yeah, let's wait a little bit, I guess. And I will put my new password. It's still coming up. 20 to 30 more seconds. So now we're in. It already has an freemium license, which where you can enable all the configuration and you do a lot of you can test it with all the functionalities. Thanks to Citrix for this. So you will see when you log in, you don't have many features enabled. Then you will be very surprised why I can't use those features. So go to the systems, settings, basic settings. We would be using all these features in our lab and for the test. So if you select those features, then click OK, then you will see these features are enabled now. You can definitely we will use these features. So for the first video, I would say this is an lab, our first NetScaler appliance, which we build it up in our lab, small lab. Don't forget to watch our next video. We will configure the HA part.